Today is a very special edition of Woofs and Whiskers. We are in Orangeburg at Healing Species with founder Sherry, and I just want to talk about what Healing Species is because for those of you who may not know, which is many of you, we ran into Sherry while on a completely different topic one day out on a shoot, and she came up to us and said, "Hey, I have this animal rescue. I would love to tell you about it." And there are so many cool things that you do. So,
Thank you.
yes, tell us what
Well,
Healing
thank you
Species does.
so much.
Absolutely.
For your time and for coming out. It's just such our pleasure to have you here.
We're so excited.
Oh, well, we're so excited. And the Healing Species was formed, almost 26 years ago. I was actually in law school. I had gone back to law school as an older student. And one of the first things I learned in criminal law class is that especially violent crimes are referred to in the legal arena as depraved heart crimes. And judges look at something they call depravity of heart for sentencing guidelines. And that really captivated my attention. I did all of my research on this, and what I discovered is that your most violent offenders that are incarcerated have two things in common. A, they were often either severely neglected or abused as children, and they often began acting out other cruel acts on what other victim would be more voiceless than them but an animal. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is happening in childhood. We should do something to reach out and prevent this. And what if we could teach empathy? And what if we could take those very animals that have been abused, rehabilitate them, and show the children how special these animals are? And that, gosh, this even applies to the children we're teaching that, you know what? No matter what has happened to you, how people have treated you, what they have said about you or done to you, that's not what defines you. That's not who you are. Just like this visiting ambassador dog, you have your whole future ahead of you if you can keep your heart, not grow bitter, not try to return hate for hate, but keep love in your heart. And so we have a 13-week lesson on that. But I had been rescuing dogs my whole life. And had some from home, and I would take them with me to school. And all of the students would say, Miss Sherry, you need to come to my trailer park or to my street. There's this poor dog, and everybody's kicking him, throwing rocks at him. He's super sick. So I became known as the dog lady, and it evolved into this rescue, which is actually a sanctuary. The dogs, we're no-kill. They can stay here for their whole lives if they need to. In the meantime, we work really hard rehabilitating them, and many of them go with us into the schools and help us teach. And those are the ones that often go on and become adopted, and then we pull the next group ready to be classroom ambassador dogs.
And I do want to point out that all of the dogs here are adoptable.
Yes, absolutely. And also, almost all of these dogs here are what we call dogs of last resort, meaning we have taken in some of the worst cases, really mangled dogs, horrible stories you can't even imagine, drugged behind a car, living life on a chain, sick, just terrible. Now, I will have to say we are at full capacity right now, as so many of the rescues are, and so this is a plea and a beg out that please adopt any local rescue that's near you. Please check them out first, and we're among those that are just saying we're overloaded right now. We cannot take any more dogs.
How many dogs do you have right now?
Right now we have 35 dogs.
And you do work very hard to make sure that every dog finds its perfect match.
Oh, yes.
So tell us a little bit about how that works if someone is interested in adopting.
Absolutely. They can go to our website, healingspecies.org. We have a Facebook page. We're on Instagram, Healing Species on Instagram. You can contact us. I usually put my text-only cell number on most all of those posts. But my husband laughs and says, gosh, it's easier to get accepted into Duke than get one of your dogs because we have a 5-page application, and we really do want to make sure we pair the right dog with the right people. It's not always 1,000%, but we do the best we can because it's a lifetime commitment. A dog can live 18, 20, or more years, and we want to be certain that this is an investment and a commitment that someone is prepared and able and capable and ready to take on for the life of this animal.
Species.
Well, we struggle. We do not get government funding.
Okay.
We're not like an entity, like a county pound or such. We beg, borrow, and steal for every penny, every dollar. It's very expensive to run this operation. My husband is super generous, but there's no one person or family that could run this enterprise. It takes a community, it takes all of us. And so with the holidays coming up, if you might remember Healing Species, that would just mean the world to us.
Are there any specific supplies that people could donate?
Always, absolutely. We're always running short of the rope little slip leashes that you can order from Chewy.com. We always need a food that's called 4Health. And also I have to thank our sponsor Diamond Pet Food, who does help us tremendously with food. And then there's another food that's for dogs with allergies, and that's the 4Health, the canned or the dry, and it's the salmon with sweet potato. What else are we needing? We need cedar chips for the winter. We need tarps for the winter. The list is endless.
Well, yes, and we'll definitely include that. Make sure that you think about Healing Species. It's in Orangeburg. And thank you so much for telling us about it.